Us Disney fans are on a complete Disney high right now. Welcome back to your Daily Dose. Everybody, D23 was amazing. Probably the biggest D23 we have ever seen. But I'm pulling on up here to Hollywood Studios to go check out the potential construction zones that we're gonna see the brand new, the first of its kind, Monsters, Inc. land. Construction starting soon, sometime next year in 2025. Let's go look at the potential locations where this new land is going to be. I have 4 ideas on where I think we're going to see this brand new land inside Hollywood Studios. It's a hot one. It's a summer one, kind of at the end of summer. It's August. I know schools are all back here down in Florida and around America. Some are going back to school as well. So we'll check out the crowds too, but our main focus today is to see where this Monsters Inc. land is going to be inside Hollywood Studios. Now, a while back last year, I actually made a video on how I really feel like a new land is needed at Hollywood Studios. I know we just got Toy Story Land and we got Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but Hollywood Studios is slammed every day with tons and tons of guests because it's so popular. And the cool thing is we're about to get more again starting next year. But the main focus is, where is this going to be? And again, we're gonna discuss that today. Nothing new here. Hollywood Studios, always busy in the morning. It's about 9:30. Rolling on in. I actually don't own a Monsters Inc. shirt, so I just wore a Halloween shirt because that kind of fits too. By the way, this video is an open discussion, so if you guys have any thoughts, any ideas, leave them down below. And out of these 4 that we're gonna look at, we're gonna start with the least likely to happen to potentially the most likely to happen. And then you guys can comment down below what you think is going to happen, or if you know. If you secretly know, you can comment down below too. For our first stop, we're gonna head down Sunset Boulevard and go to the left of Tower of Terror. Now, just a disclaimer, I have no idea where Monsters Inc. land is going. Nobody does, unless one of you does know. I have no idea. This is just a fun video that I actually can't believe I actually kind of predicted in a way last year when I was saying Hollywood Studios needs an expansion, even though we already had 2 of them. I must have sounded crazy at the time, but I guess I kind of predicted it right. I predicted it right. And I will say one of these locations is definitely going to be right too. There's no way it's not. Oh, wow. Look at this. Concrete update. Is this a potential Monsters Inc. land expansion right here? I don't think so. But I will say this is prime location for an expansion. We'll talk on this in a little bit. If you haven't guessed it yet, our first stop is going to be over here in this corner near Rock and Roller Coaster and beyond the Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. Now, I actually did predict at D23 Rock and Roller Coaster was going to get rethemed. That is obviously not the case, but it's still potentially. All right, we have made it to our very first location on where this new Monsters Inc. could go. And I believe if they did pick this location, I believe Lightning McQueen's would not survive. There's actually a spot right in the back here of, behind Lightning McQueen that is a tree land right now at the moment. I don't know if it's used for drainage or something, but this is a potential area of interest. If you look on your screen right now, this is the forest area that I'm talking about, where they could potentially expand back here. And what I like about this is that it's a whole brand new area, and it is kind of like you're walking into a new location, like you're getting immersed inside the land. That's what I really like about this location, is that it feels kind of excluded from the park, and you are gonna get immersed into Monsters Inc. lands. No one really knows how big it's going to be, but I feel like this would be a really nice area where they wouldn't have to take down buildings. I mean, they would have to make the land suitable for, obviously, its purpose. Leave your guys' thoughts down below, but I think this is kind of the least likely to happen just because of the back roads. They'd probably have to dig a tunnel to go underneath the roads that they use to get around Hollywood Studios. And I don't even know if the land is designed and it can even hold a land, meaning the ground, if the ground is even good to go. how much work this would take. I don't really know. It just obviously is kind of like if Disney really wants to knock down a whole tree area and build a land, I feel like this would be the best bet, but I feel like this is less likely to happen just because I feel like they would have built potentially other lands here already. Who knows? No one knows. But this is the first option. Because what it seems like a smaller land at that. But what I really like about this is it's gonna be in its own area. And it would be fun to rope drop. But it would be right by Tower of Terror. So sightlines would definitely be impacted. Again, who really knows? In my opinion, least likely to happen over here. One thing very, very interesting on the concept art is there is some subtle notices or subtle hints about Harryhausen's, which is a restaurant in Monsters, Inc. I guarantee that's going to make its way into the land. Well, I don't guarantee it, but it is in the concept art of hinting at it, and they're not gonna put a land without any restaurants. I guarantee, well, I can't say guarantee. I have a feeling that Harryhausen's is going to wind up in this brand new land. I will say, I feel like sooner than later, Disney's going to wind up letting us know where they're going to build this land. Because if you guys did miss yesterday's video, at Magic Kingdom, Tom Sawyer's Island is going away, and same with Rivers of America, because that is where the Cars land is going to be put in place. So I feel like sooner or later, we're going to find out. Next up on the list, I don't think it's gonna go here, but it could go here because they would have to tear down Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. I don't think this is gonna happen, but it's a prime land on where they have some nice real estate where we could see Monsters Inc. land going. I feel at this point in Disney's like land building processes, anything is on the drawing boards, and I really feel like anything, but this would be, you know, one of those opening day attractions that some people probably would be upset about, but this would be a really nice location because I feel like, I don't know, there's something about this spot where I feel like, yeah, I could see it. I'm all for the complete immersive experiences, and there is a lot to land back here at Indiana Jones that they could potentially use for this area. If Disney is going for more of a bigger type space, Indiana Jones would be that. Here's an aerial shot on how it kind of looks like, what space they would use, and they could potentially even go into the parking lot behind as well. Hopefully Disney gives us some more information on how big it's going to be, where it's going to be, hopefully soon. But this is another one. Would you be down for this? Or are you just like too attached to Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular? One of the reasons I think this is a great potential area is that it's already got all these trees that I feel like they would potentially leave, and then it would already have like an immersive type feeling as you go on in to Monsters Inc. land. But would Disney be willing to get rid of this? I don't know, and I don't think so. But they could. They really could. I honestly feel like it would be a great location, but this is my second lowest location where I feel like, it might not happen. I want to go to the third location where I feel like it's highly likely to happen, because this one would actually help the traffic flow and the guest flow here at Hollywood Studios. We're gonna go to two areas with this. We're gonna go back down Sunset Boulevard, right by the Sunset Ranch Market. Now this location I feel would be the most costly if Disney decides to go this route, because we're gonna be heading also into Animation Courtyard. Also, I'm just making this up in my head, thinking this would be the most costly for many reasons. All right, Animation Courtyard. I feel like if they did this location, they could potentially have three ways into Monsters Inc. land, with this being one of them, and then Sunset Ranch being a second, and then Toy Story Land being a third entrance. And if they did that, I feel like it would just be so much easier to kind of walk around Hollywood Studios, which, if you guys didn't know, it's kind of a problem in a way right now. It just would help the ease of getting around this park. However, the biggest issue about this being a potential area of interest is that Disney did announce that the Voyage of the Little Mermaid, the stage show, was going to be returning, but they didn't say anything about it at D23. So it kind of is hinting maybe they are scrapping that, and they're looking at this area as a point of interest. And my least favorite area about this being if they decide to put Monsters Inc. land right here, directly where Star Wars Launch Bay is, because I feel like it wouldn't be as immersive as, let's say, Indiana Jones or first location that we decided to check out at the Cars Lightning McQueen's, well, behind Lightning McQueen Racing Academy. However, if you look at the concept art, it kind of looks like the show building of Star Wars Launch Bay, but then they're going to actually go behind what is Star Wars Launch Bay. And if you look at some aerial shots, let's actually do that here real quick. First of all, here is an aerial shot of Animation Courtyard with Star Wars Launch Bay, and that whole white building is actually Star Wars Launch Bay. I feel like they would either knock down the Little Mermaid and then the Disney Junior Dance and maybe potentially make those into restaurants, maybe another attraction if they feel. But here is an aerial shot of what is behind Launch Bay. This white building is Launch Bay. That's all the meet and greets. But this is what I was talking about on how they could actually connect the lands if they feel like doing so. This greenway is basically representing a walkway from Sunset Market Ranch all the way to Toy Story Land if they felt like connecting it. But now we kind of got to look at what is all back here that Disney would have to move. The blue buildings right here, these are going to be actually office spaces that actually used to be the animation buildings here at Hollywood Studios when they were making films. I do know some offices aren't being used, but they might be at full capacity now at the moment. And here's how everything would look. But this would definitely be the most costly for Disney, since they would have to relocate all of those cast members if they decided to do this pathway. But if they just wanted to do, for instance, Launch Bay, if you do look at the concept art with the building in the background, it kind of does look like the building of Launch Bay. So this is what I really feel like could potentially be the number one the location for this new land. Again, comment down below, what do you guys all think? My biggest concern is that it just wouldn't feel kind of like an immersive land. It would just feel like, okay, cool, there's Monsters Inc. because obviously you have this big gigantic archway in the way, and then you would just see the facade of Monstropolis, and you would just, walk 2 feet and you're in here. So that's why I was thinking potentially maybe they are going to knock down those buildings in the back and make it more immersive type experience. But you know what, to take it a little bit further, here's where it really gets interesting. A side shot of Launch Bay, though again, the white building is Launch Bay, and then actually the last day of the D23 Expo on Sunday, they actually had a model of the outside of Monstropolis and the inside of what the ride is going to look like. Now look at the outside portion. Does that not look kind of like the shape of Launch Bay? I really feel like since that does kind of look like a big show building, I don't know if they would have enough space, and that building in the back that is offices and not part of Launch Bay would probably have to come on down, debunking basically this green pathway connecting Toy Story Land to the Sunset Market Ranch, which is unfortunate because I would really love to see that. But I'm kind of convincing myself it could be Launch Bay just based off of this, and then seeing that square type show building in the back that is going to house the attraction. Again, comment down below, what do you guys think? Obviously, Galaxy's Edge is very immersive. Disney does immersive lands, and I don't really foresee it just getting smacked right here unless they somehow make it crazy immersive and do something nuts. Maybe, potentially, maybe Disney goes away with this arch and they kind of block off this entrance and we enter from Sunset Market Ranch, and then it would be kind of immersive. I don't really know. No one really knows. It's all obviously up in the air. This is my biggest concern about this, is that they better make it feel immersive. I don't want it to just be like this and we walk in and boom, we're here. That's my biggest concern. I don't know. What are your guys' concerns about this location? I think it would be cool to get around if they decided to go with like that Toy Story Land entrance, and same with the Sunset Market Ranch entrance. It'd be great and definitely well welcomed and received, in my opinion. And obviously, not to mention, what we're going to mention is this area is kind of just here. It's not really utilized. Junior dance party, I mean, if you have kids, it's a good thing to go to. But it's not really used by majority of the guests. I do feel like the biggest hint of it going here is that the building kind of looks like it's going to be here, which I don't know if they did that on purpose. Maybe they did that to kind of just throw us off. Disney does stuff like that. However, if they did do this location, this would definitely probably say Monstropolis. Maybe they could even make this into a giant door as you're walking on into Monstropolis. They could do that. I don't know. I'm just thinking this actually on the spot. It would be kind of a cool sightline. Imagine this as a giant door. I don't know. I'm just thinking if they decided to keep this the way it is. If they did close it off, I feel like it would definitely be more immersive, and then maybe we would have 2 points of interest of where we enter the land. I would like that. I would like that. Heck, honestly, I'm gonna like anything. I'm just being, critical. And you know what? It's very interesting. We actually found out Cars Land before we found out where Monsters Inc. is going, considering... Actually, never mind, because I believe Disney did say Cars Land construction is going to be beginning early next year, and they just said Monsters Inc. Land is sometime next year in 2025, so the announcements of Monsters Inc. actually should come a little bit later. But I really think this would be a really cool area to explore and potentially head on into Monstropolis, because it would feel like you're going into a whole nother section and not just walking into the former animation courtyard. I would like that. That'd be awesome. It'd be cool. But then they would have to move a lot of that stuff. More expensive. Would they do it? They could. But who knows? But this could be a future gateway to Monsters Inc. And same with all the way over in Toy Story Land. Listen, I am just honestly so very excited to be making this video and talking about another expansion here at Hollywood Studios. I just saw, man, this is going to be the next 5 years. I really feel like now if we're thinking about if they're going to be beginning construction next year in 2025, 2 to 3 years, this land can open in 2028, as Animal Kingdom is aiming to open in 2027, and they're starting construction this year, 2028, 2029, until we see Monsters Inc. land, in my opinion. And remember, this stuff is going to happen. Disney's not going to back out on it. They did say, after all these announcements, they're actively working on it, and it is going to happen. Imagine if it didn't happen, the backlash that they would probably get. So they're going to do it. There's no way there's not. Remember, didn't they say they're going to invest $60 billion worldwide in all their experiences? It's happening. And they know they need to do it, and they know they need to turbocharge, I believe they call it, because of Epic Universe. Anyways, so let's say this is closed off, and Sunset Market Ranch would be an opening to Monsters Inc. Then I said Toy Story Land would be the other. I can't believe I'm actually even making this video. It actually kind of reminds me when I was a kid and my family and I, we would always be wondering where the next expansion was going to be at Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and now here we are actually making it and speculating on where the announced lands are going to be going. I wonder with this announcement too, would we see One Man's Dream leave as well? That is something to think about. Just to the right of Toy Story Land, which I don't know if they would want to do this if you go from here and then instantly to the right. But you see how they have this backstage area? This is where else we could see the entrance, potentially, if they wanted to do kind of like a wraparound of the park, which would be a lot easier to get from here. It's a Fantasmic Tower of Terror rock and roller coaster. But then again, you're talking a lot of money to tear down those buildings, repurpose those buildings, relocate those cast members. So this one might not happen, just how much money it would be. I guess we'll find out on where they feel like they're going to put it. I just feel like it would be awesome to go this way and then make our way to Tower of Terror. You know what else is going to be fun to see? When we finally get the concept art of how the land is going to look. Remember all the budget cuts that they had for Toy Story Land? We're actually, at a time, going to be able to walk through like Slinky Dog Dash. There was like a way to get down and over. That was budget cut. It would look cool in the concept art, but they obviously scrapped it. So that's going to be cool to kind of see how it actually develops and what it actually turns out to be in the end. I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome. And now let's go over to the fourth one, which is also very highly likely to happen. You know, it'd be funny. Watch none of this happen. Because I could also see Disney just doing something in the parking lot. But I really feel like the repurposed land of Animation Courtyard and where we're going, Muppets area, would be a good repurposed area. I feel like the potential landing zones of Monstropolis are going to be Animation Court and Muppets, but I also feel like Muppets would be a great opportunity for an expansion of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge or just some other Star Wars thing since it's right next to it. So that's why I'm kind of heavily leaning Animation Courtyard and behind Animation Courtyard. And not to mention how like Toy Story would be next to Monsters Inc., you know, Pixar. It'd be great fit for that area. You know, just think about it going from one Pixar land to the other, Toy Story to Monsters Inc. That would be really nice if they did end up connecting them. In reality, wherever this new land goes, I don't really care. I just want it to be opening in the next 3 to 4 years. That's really ultimately all I care about, 3 to 4 years. All right, Muppets is our last on the list. Could we see Muppets going in the short future? I mean, I definitely could, and it actually kind of looked more likely based on the concept art on how the area looked, especially because they still have brick. I mean, they could easily just do that anywhere. But for how low traffic volume this is, I could see this as being the number one option if they are going for a little bit smaller of an area, and they could also repurpose Star Tours whole building for the new ride. But I still heavily am leaning on Animation Courtyard. I mean, even just look at this. I know Muppets, everyone's attached to it, but there's really not that many people here ever, and they don't even use stage 1 building anymore. They only use this for like very important days for merchandise. They don't even use it. They don't even use it. This, though, I feel they would put Monstropolis to the right, and then the show building would be behind using Star Tours, and that would totally wipe out Star Tours in itself. Because a lot of people are saying that Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run is the future Star Tours, because we are getting in 2026 that new Grogu and Mando edition, which they could keep on adding more and more journeys as we go on, which would be super cool. All right, let's take a closer look here. So here is an aerial shot of the Muppets area. This right here is going to be the show building of Star Tours. Everything else belongs to Muppets. And here's kind of what I came to the conclusion of. The middle section would be that whole area in front of the Monstropolis factory, the Scare Factory. The Scare Factory can either be all the way in the back, or it can be to the left. I think it would look better if it's way in the back. And what they had for Muppets 3D could be probably the restaurant, and to the left is all going to be reserved for the show building of the ride, which is going to be the first of its kind at a Disney park, which is going to be crazy. The first suspended coaster in a Disney park. Only one ride is going in this location, not two, just one, and obviously some food. The more that I think about it with this video, I really feel like I am leaning towards Animation Courtyard. I hope they actually knock some buildings down in the back. It looks like Muppets might live to see another day. We'll see what happens. Just looking for that Disney announcement. So with that, let me know where you guys think this new land is going to be going. Out of these 4, or maybe if you have another idea, let me know down below that I might have missed or Disney might be thinking about. I really feel like it's between this and Animation Courtyard. Animation Courtyard would make more sense, but I feel like it would be more costly. But we'll have to wait and see. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Disney is looking great here in the future. Next 3 years, I feel like this land will come and we'll finally be able to enter it. We'll remember this as the first day of being here and getting hyped. So with that, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and that was it for your Daily Dose. Love you guys. Let's go Disney.